Joining me live now is RSL New South Wales President Mick Bainbridge. Hi there, Mick. Great to have you on the show. So, why have we banned trade for the whole day on Anzac Day?
Thanks for having me, Chung Lee. Look, I think it's a great move by the SDA union and the New South Wales government, and especially the support of the Premier to ensure that there is no commercialisation creep on Anzac Day, and to ensure that veterans and their families can enjoy the ceremonies of the day and be part of the commemoration and not have to worry about fear or favour of missing out on work.
Do you think, I've been looking at some surveys online, do you think young people of today realise, how hard it was to actually win freedom, to win the democratic society that we have now?
Look, I think it should be taught more in the schools, but noting that in both World Wars we lost over 100,000 troops. And I also note that tomorrow is our first day, being the 11th of July, for a commemoration for Middle East veterans. We've had 40,000 servicemen and servicewomen serve our nation proudly in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kuwait, etc. We've had 41 deaths in Afghanistan, 2 deaths in Iraq, and countless suicides. And I think after the poorly run Brereton inquiry and the war crime allegations, it's time for the community to come together and heal. So it's not just about old veterans. There are tens of thousands of young men and women that have served our nation, and I think both days, being tomorrow and also Anzac Day, go to thanking them for that service.
You mentioned suicides and also, the allegations of war crimes. How do you think we're going in terms of looking after our veterans?
I don't think we've done a great job, and I note that the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide concludes, and the final report should be issued in October this year. So RSL New South Wales is working towards lobbying government to make sure that as many of those recommendations that fall from that report are implemented to protect veterans, and not just veterans but their families who often suffer the full brunt of that service in terms of their transition from defence.
Do you think, we're at a stage where people don't really care about, wars, especially that are taking place elsewhere? And also, we're having such difficulty recruiting and retaining defence personnel.
Look, I spent nearly 15 years in defence, and it was a fantastic career, and I'd recommend it to any young Australian who's interested in going and learning a trade or joining the infantry or learning to fly a plane. It's a fantastic opportunity for them to set themselves up. I'd always recommend a career in defence. But, I do point out it's a pretty tumultuous period at the moment across the world, and war is a terrible business. It just means that when we do send our young servicemen and women off to represent Australia and defend it, we should certainly be taking strides to make sure that they're catered for and cared for when they come home. So as President of RSL New South Wales, my job's not just to represent veterans, but to also warn the community about war and to think twice before we enter into engagements. So I think it's a special day to reflect on the past, but also remember, we should be cautious in the future.
Do you think the importance of days like Anzac Day have been eroded by woke politics?
Look, perhaps it has, but I think we're having record numbers turning out to Anzac Day. I think there's a huge amount of fantastic community support, and the Anzac Day closures, which are supported by bipartisan sides of politics, I think is a fantastic step forward to make sure the community can also attend and be a part of those commemorations. I think we've got to be aware of the fact that people have sacrificed their lives for our great nation. I'm not sure about wokeism, but certainly commercialisation. And like I've said before, Anzac Day is not for sale.
Thank you so much for your insights. RSL New South Wales President Mick Bainbridge. And of course, if you need support, you can call Open Arms on 1800 011 046, the Defence Family Helpline on 1800 624 608, and Lifeline at 13 11 14. All the Defence All Hour support line 1800 628 036.